Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Slingshot Engage podcast. I'm John Fowler. My co-host over there, well, this way, that way. There you go, Joey Chatina. There we go. I got the name right this week. How you doing,
Nice,
Joey?
nice job. You scored points there, sir. We won't black flag you for the last name. Good job.
Well, appreciate it. I got that right, guys. I've been studying that. I was like, I'm not messing Joey's name up tonight, so I wanted to get that right. Uh, So, hey, Joey, big freaking news, man, just popped off maybe an hour or two ago with the whole breaking news with NASCAR today is Chase Elliott's out and Corey LaJoy's in, baby. Chase Elliott is out of the car. Just getting back from a fucking 6 week. Oh, that's the first cuss word. Dang it.
Dollar in the jar. Dollar in the jar.
Dang it. First, comes back from after being off, what, 6 weeks? And then makes a dumbass move like this. But good for Corey LaJoy, though, Joey.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, he's done. I mean, I guess we think he's done pretty good in the 7 car. He's, you know, I don't know a whole lot about what that team's got aspire, but I mean, look, when you go to Hendrick, if you can't get it done, that
Hmm.
tells you real fast where you are. But I think Corey's going to be great. I think it'll just show you what a good car can do for a driver. Period.
Exactly. Hey, what have we been talking about? Josh Berry. You notice he's not the one that they picked because he's probably already signed that Ford deal. And I don't know if they're going to switch over to Ford because of that reason. Got me thinking. I was like, okay, well, maybe he is going to Ford. Maybe that's the whole point.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard a funny possible rumor was, the Dale Jr. buys out Gene Haas, and
Ah,
I mean, I don't know. It's going
I heard the
around.
same thing. I heard the
It's
same
going
thing.
around that you could have that. You could have the new Junior. I understand the Xfinity car side would be completely separate. It wouldn't be combined, is what I understood from the person telling me. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't know. I don't see Chevrolet letting this guy go. Time will tell. I think that's what's holding this thing up.
Right.
There's a reason why they're not, announcing it as fast as they have. Last again, we mentioned this last week. I think they're on their last year contract with Ford, so
Absolutely.
there's a lot to be answered with that deal. But I like the deal putting Corey LaJoy,
Yes.
a guy that is, they've grinded his family, his dad, getting to where he's at today. So it'll be good to see him finally getting a good race car and watch that nine go around with somebody that would be grateful to be in the car.
Oh my God, he'd be super grateful, and I hope that he takes advantage of this and kicks ass. To be honest, I'm a Corey LaJoy fan. I listen to his podcast. I do it all. He's awesome. I like that dude. But you know me, I'm the happiest dude right now. Chase Elliott, bitch, get out. You're done for the night. I love it. NASCAR, they had me nervous. I didn't think NASCAR was going to pull the trigger because it's Chase Elliott, the favorite driver, and he's already proved it by the ratings when he was out. When he's back in, they go up. So I didn't think they were going to do it, but they did it. So power to NASCAR, man. Thank you,
Well,
man.
to
That was
that point,
cool.
I think that wasn't true as far as the ratings are concerned. The ratings were still just as flat when Chase left. I want to say that they were talking more that Josh Berry was bringing more people
Oh,
to the than Chase Elliott. So that was squashed a while back, a few weeks back when they came out with that, basically saying that nothing changed when Chase went away and came back.
oh man.
I could be
Well,
wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what I read.
okay. I thought it was the opposite. I thought on Door Bumper Clear they were saying that the ratings went up. Like as soon as that race that he came back,
They're
what was it,
they're
Martinsville?
they're full of
Martinsville
shit.
was.
They're full of
Uh,
shit. I mean, look, hey, look, Chase Elliott has I mean, look, his dad, Bill Elliott, and stuff like that, but the personality of a
yes.
snail.
Yes.
So I know he gets the fan base because of his father and stuff like that. I know he did well on the local level, with the supers and stuff like that, but built a little fan base there as a kid when he was coming up through. But Chase, I don't know. I don't know Chase that well. Don't know much about him, but I
Yeah,
just
me
can tell
neither.
you, personality wise, I don't get it. But
Yeah, man,
more power
that
to you.
dude has none, man. And that's another thing they make fun of on that show, on that podcast, is his personality. They're like, "Oh yeah, it's dull. It's nothing there."
I mean, we said it last week, and not beating a dead horse. We said it last week. That's the driver today. It's a lot of guys that really, they've advanced because of their financial status. They've not lived. They've not had to race to put food on the table.
Yep.
Uh, they're not insane like most of the real racers are, so the personality's not there. Uh,
Right.
but yeah, I mean, I was looking at Christopher Bell and I was like, what a great spot for him. He's a carbon copy of Matt Kenseth himself. So I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then last week we talked about me not even having a driver. Like I don't know who. I mean, I guess
Josh Berry, baby.
I don't know if I can do that, but
You drive a Ford, man. You drive a Ford.
maybe Brad Keselowski.
Oh, I like Brad. That's a good one.
Yeah,
You
I
know
mean
what? I can see you're a Brad fan. I can see it. It fits you. Brad fits you. I can
he
see
won-
it.
he won me a bunch of money at Talladega too a few years back in
Oh,
a
there you
driver
go.
pool.
Perfect
So
reason.
yeah, he was in the Deuce, the Miller Lite car. So yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And you know, another thing I got to work on, Joey, is this. I'm always using my hands. I was told, stop using damn hands, Ricky Bobby. So
I'm
I gotta
watching my
stop. I gotta keep my arms down here.
I'm
I gotta
watching my
keep
eyes.
them.
They look like they're crossing. Am my eyes crossing?
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. So
You're good. But yeah, man, when I saw that news, you know, I was so happy. Last night though, I was like, come on, man. I hope they do the right thing. I think Denny putting it on blast, and he did it today. I listened to his podcast. He did it one last night, and they put it up today, and he was still pissed, man. He was livid. He was actually hurting, man. He was like, my neck hurts. Like he was sitting there like this. He said because his neck was hurting. He had to help hold his head up. I was like, God
yeah,
damn.
yeah.
So
That's I don't know. And John, we talked about this earlier. The Chase Elliott fans that I saw some. I'm not watching next week because Chase is out and um,
thank God.
angry about the situation with Chase Elliott. And to me, it's disgusting because I think that's where we are as a society today. If it doesn't agree with what you think or you
Mhm.
believe in, then it's garbage. And I think a lot of people have lost sight of what just. I mean, I don't know. It's just they've lost sight of what do you have?
I know you're talking about me a
Well,
little bit.
well, well, right or wrong. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
at the end of the
absolutely.
day, it doesn't matter how big of a fan you are of anyone. If you physically try, and I mean, just say he tried to hurt him, he didn't try to hurt him,
Right.
but but
But he knew.
re-
But he knew
man,
it was there.
hey, that corner right there's killed
Shh.
people, right?
And
It's
that's what
killed people.
Denny was big on his podcast saying, especially where he turned me at is ridiculous.
Yeah, that is killed people right there in that same area. So,
Yeah.
I wish he'd have got out and beat the shit out of him. To be honest with you,
Me too. Oh
that's
my
what
God.
that's what's
That's
wrong
what
with
he
half these
needs.
guys. They run and they hide and they talk their shit on Twitter. I
Hmm.
think if more of them got their ass whooped, half this crap wouldn't happen. But
Yeah.
that's the thing. Bowman Gray, that joke of a racetrack. I know people
Jeez.
think that's
Oh,
great, but
hold on. Did you disagree
I,
with me? Did we disagree or something, Joey? I
uh,
can't stand that racetrack. It
well, I
makes us
mean,
look so bad. It
yeah, I
makes
mean,
the racing look so bad. I'm
that's
sorry.
what people think today. That's how you race. You run over people, you wreck
Yep.
them, you get out
Exactly.
and show your ass. I mean, really, what you do is you get out and you grab them by their uniform and you whip. You get a
Yeah.
couple of hits in and
Get
you
a
go
little
home.
hockey action going in.
Yeah.
Grab 'em by the jersey, beat the shit
Now,
out of each
now
other.
the kids are so young though. You got to go fight their dad.
Yeah.
So, so
Good
it
point. Good
that's
point.
the problem there. But I mean, I think Denny and hopefully that'll be ongoing because I'd like to see Denny stay in his ass a little longer.
Oh yeah, me too. That would be
And
awesome.
again, for the fans, it's just disgusting to see people out there that even think that just letting their being a fan of a driver, just overrule the fact of how to treat somebody, how you should be, how to act, and I don't understand that at all. To think that what Chase Elliott did, and then his smart ass little comment when it was over that he didn't,
Hmm.
oh, I didn't hear it, Mr. Cool Sly
Yeah,
dude over there, whatever. But
trying to be Mr.
anyways,
Cool. Yeah.
it's all
Hey,
good. It's all good.
hey, it's all good because NASCAR did the right thing. Man, I'm so glad that they stayed with it. As a Bubba fan, I was texting everybody last night going, they better do it. They better do it, or it's gonna look even worse. That they punishing one person and not the other, and they not just staying what's that word I'm looking for? Consistency.
Consistent.
Yeah, and they did it. They finally did it, and hey, power to them, man. Power
Well,
to them.
my fear was, and we talked to a guy in NASCAR last night. Both of us were in that conversation, and the way they listed that deal with Bubba, it was the
Yeah.
official, it was the hot track, it was multiple different things. I don't know that it outlined it was the actual
All right. So
crash.
I do remember our conversation last night, and if you go back and listen once again to Denny's podcast, he reads it word for word, Bubba's penalty, and it was all on track purposes. Because he put other drivers in harm, and he put Kyle Larson in harm.
And that's
Everything
perfect.
was on. He read it word from word, so
And
it was
that's perfect.
definitely on track. Yeah.
And my
So
fear my fear was is it was going to be a loophole to where,
I
you
thought he
know,
gonna blame it on Brad. I
well, it's not
really did.
blame it on it. I just thought it was going to be a loophole to let Chase slide through this one. I'm glad to see, like you said, consistency. And look, man, you use a race car as a weapon. That's terrible. I mean, this
Yeah.
guy broke his leg. He's been out of a car for a month. He comes back and pulls this stunt. I don't even understand why you let him be playoff eligible anymore.
Oh my God.
I think he's run his course. It's time to get
Yes.
him out of here and boo this guy for the person he's turning into, because I don't like him. And I don't know, if I was Chase, I would like myself today. Period.
Hey, you tell him, Joey. I like your attitude towards this guy. We got the
Hey,
same.
hey, I'm just saying he better be glad it wasn't me in the race car, because his ass would be limping today with two black eyes. I'd have beat his little
Absolutely.
ass. Is what I'd have done. So
Absolutely. He
that's
would
the
have.
difference with me and Denny, though. I wouldn't get on a podcast and talk about it. I'd be at his
Yeah, yeah,
front
yeah.
door.
Yep, yep. That's probably why we're not there.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we do iRacing, and I always tell everybody, dude, if this was real life, I'd be in freaking jail tonight. It's like,
Well,
what the hell?
I mean, that was my biggest draw to being a race car driver. It was There was a few things. It was women, number one, right?
Yeah.
Race car driver gets all the girls. Number two
Mhm.
was the fighting. Number three was racing. When I started a BIR, dude, Birmingham International Raceway, I bought a Buick Regal that had a roll cage, which was a piece of steel down the left side. I sat in a red leather bucket seat and had a little halo bar off the back seat. It was
Nice.
terrible. I had to take the battery out of my Ford F-150 to put in the race car to get it on the racetrack.
Oh
Somebody
my
said to me,
God.
I swear to God, it's a true story. And somebody said, "Man, what happens if you get in a wreck and you destroy the battery? How you getting home?" I said, "I didn't think about that."
Right.
I had a borrowed trailer. I mean, it was terrible. But my
Wow.
dad would chase me when I got started out there. We were in a class of guys that didn't care, and if you didn't earn your respect, it wasn't so much earning on the racetrack. So when they did you wrong, you had to make sure you got their attention off of it. And I was racing men. I was 20 something years old, young, 21-year old, against men. So I
Right.
mean,
Right.
I know a couple of times I ran out there after them, and thank God my dad grabbed me, because they would have beat the hell out of me. But I mean, what do you do? You're supposed to go out there and do it,
Yeah, you
and
gotta show them that you're not scared.
yeah, I mean,
Plain
so
and
it's
simple.
it's changed a lot, but that's how you got respect back in the day. You made sure that you scared their ass enough that they didn't touch your race car next weekend.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
That
hell, you can't
that's
afford to go wreck a race car because you're trying to get somebody back, and then
that's what I don't understand about all these short tracks, man. People are just
yeah,
tearing their freaking late models up,
I'd rather
or they're
break my hand than I would my
oh
race car.
yes, yes. One guy got tore up over the weekend in his interview. He's like, "Yeah, that's 20 grand right there, just gone,
It's yeah, it's
gone."
it's
I'm like, Jesus, that's like that late mile driver that Earnhardt sponsors. That girl ran him over, and then they beat his dad
oh
up to
yeah,
death.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, that shit's crazy. They make it, and I'm sorry, but a lot of people watch that damn Bow and Gray show, and a lot of that comes from that. I don't care what anybody says. That Bow and Gray, don't like it. I went to it. I used to live over there for a year. Don't like that track. I just don't. It just makes us look bad, if you ask me.
Yeah, I don't even watch the races. It's nothing
Yeah,
really. I mean,
yeah,
I personally, it's nothing against anybody that likes it, but I just don't see the track even being that racy to start with. It's a one groove. The only thing you can do is hit a guy,
exactly.
so
Yeah, you got to
it's
move
not.
them.
It's
That's just like
it's redneck WWE shit. It's
that's
have
exactly
at
what
it,
it is.
boys.
That's exactly what it is.
Get you a
Well,
six
there was
pack of Bush Light. Go to a Bowman Gray.
we're gonna go sit in the grandstands. But
Probably sitting on the hot dog too.
yeah, Bubba, man, look, we got Chase Elliott fans in our comments. We got Chase Elliott fans in our comments, but what can you do? They're everywhere. They're
That
everywhere. But so Joey, let's talk about the other stuff that was going on. Big weekend for the Indy cars. First, before we jump on the Indy cars, did you watch any of the F1?
I didn't because
It was boring. You
it's
didn't miss
it's
nothing.
Monaco. It's like Bowman Gray.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So I mean, once you get the pole sitter, I mean, you may have the pitting situation. I think I've seen a couple of times where there's been some overtaking based on that, but
Yeah.
no.
And John, yes, I have been there plenty of times. I used to live right beside it. I went there. Just not me. That's all. Just not me. But yeah, I watched the Formula One for like 2 seconds, Joey. Yeah, one lane. Then I saw a stat. This is gonna blow your mind. Since 1996 is the last time there was a lead change in that race.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and to confirm it, they said it on Denny's podcast. They talked about it and they was like, they haven't changed. A leader has not changed since the green flag drops to the checker since 1996.
Wow.
Yeah, that track is
Well, I
retarded.
I know they've talked about, and I guess it's cool that the tradition's alive. There was some talk that that wasn't going to be around. It was, I think this year it was even up in the air whether they were going to run Monaco again. So,
Right.
but that, I mean, honestly, that's a lot of F1 racing right now. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
man.
Verstappen and
Crazy.
those guys are just insanely quick. But it's like that with F1. You had the Ferrari with Schumacher that was so dominant, and then you had the Mercedes team. Um, Lewis Hamilton. Now you've got Red Bull. It goes in
Red Bull is
cycles.
killing it. Red
So
Bull is just destroying it. But
yeah,
let's get back to the greatest show they say on earth, Indy 500. Over 300,000 people there. God damn, man, it's crazy. And the one picture I forgot to bring up today is what you texted me earlier. The payout for this race is ridiculous. I mean, crazy, man. How, like I texted you, Joey, how in the hell are these drivers making so much money and they don't have the ratings? They don't have none of that. It's so crazy to me how they make so much money. I mean,
well,
they make a lot of money.
yeah, well, it was just over $17 million for the race payout. So we were wrong about that race. And winner didn't take home 17 million. I think they were just shy like $3 million,
It was
uh,
3.6.
3.6 million. So the Daytona 500 is still rolling in at 26 million. So it's a higher paid race, which is great to know that, I don't
But
ever
the
look into stuff like that until recently, looking at it's interesting. What is the highest paid sporting event out there? And I'll be honest with you, what those guys are doing in Indianapolis, I think they're getting the short change of the deal because, to
yeah,
roll
I
off
mean,
into turn one at Indy and only come out with 3 million, dude, I could
yeah.
spend $3 million in about 5 minutes. I mean, that ain't shit.
I mean, that's. I
That's
guess you put it that
I
away.
mean, in
Okay.
today's terms, that's not life changing money anymore, unless you want to be modest about shit. But I mean, if you're a rock
That,
star
hey,
driving an Indy car,
hey,
your
that would
your
that
your
will.
appetite's a little bigger.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, that would change my world.
I mean,
I'm going super late by racing slim. We're going.
I'd be tough to get a boat and a house for $3 million. I'd have to
Jesus,
decide which one I
you
would
got some
want.
rich blood. That's what's wrong with you.
Well, I mean,
You
if
got to bring
you're,
that white trash part out.
yeah, I mean, if you're risking your life, you might as well live it up, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but that's still a lot of money. I mean, Daytona. You sent it to me earlier. The winner only won. I think it was 2.3 million at Daytona 500. So, uh, yeah, it's
Well, John, it's not really life changing if you have like, I mean, it's not hard to spend a million
Joe. You
dollars
rich, bro. You got that rich blood.
I mean, it's not hard to. I was on Marketplace yesterday, and there was yachts out there for like 10 and 15 million. I mean, it's like
Oh my
pick your
god.
poison. Could you live on 3 million and live modest? Absolutely, it is life
Yes,
changing. But I
I'll be
mean, if you
drunk
want to
every
live,
night.
yeah, if you want to live the life, I mean, you can't go down to certain places in Florida and get a decent house for $3 million.
Yeah, I mean that's true. That's true.
Yeah, and I
And
mean,
that's
if you're
why.
an IndyCar driver and you win the Indy 500, you can't live down at Robinson's Creek back there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, he was okay. So we got our first YouTuber. First YouTuber. He was on our YouTube page. So thank you, Ricky. Thank you, buddy.
He was
Thank you
all
so much.
alone.
Yeah, he was all alone. He was the only one over there on YouTube. Oh, but it's good to know that we are working over there. So we got our YouTube page up. But yeah, so I don't know nothing about Indy cars. I'll be honest. I pay attention because we have this podcast going on and we talk about all kinds of racing. So I I did pay attention a little bit. You know, Carson Daly, he has a podcast. I listened to him, so I was like, all right, I'll just root for him. But then I ain't gonna lie, the last 20 laps, I was like, okay, come on, AJ Ford, I'm ready to see you win this thing. Let's
Yeah,
go. And
yeah,
I really was rooting for that dude, man. Man, that thing didn't come out caution. That dude went on the outside. He was gone, man. I think he was going to the front until that last caution came out, and he got put third. I was like, damn it.
yeah. Erickson kind of, I don't know. They definitely took a playbook out of the NASCAR Cup Series with the late red flags, and I guess they owe that to the fans. You don't want it to end under caution, but that race has ended under caution many
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, that was
Um,
stupid. I have to
and
say
then,
that was
and
stupid.
look, let's be honest, man. I get the fans, I get the ratings, but those cars are nothing to play with
Yes.
in a green white checkers scenario. I mean, did you see, coming off the corner, the leader is basically going down pit road
Yes.
to block the
Yes.
inside, and then, make one wrong move on that. You go from,
Woo.
living the dream to in the dream. So,
Yeah. Yeah. That would have been no good. No good for
yeah,
sure. Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
I wound up sitting at the Floribama Yacht Club. Ricky knows that well. I went in and got a channel or a table, and I got him to put the race on, and dude, I sat there the entire
I know.
race.
How the
I,
hell you do that, man? I would have pissed probably about 10 times. I mean, 10,000 times.
$250 bar tab. I never got up to pee. I
Oh,
watched the whole
damn.
thing, and then I ran out and jumped behind the boat, and I didn't move for 5 minutes. So it was,
Don't swim over my Joey's boat.
yeah, it was cold too. The water was a little cold, but you come over by Joey G, I got you. Like
Nice and warm. It's nice and warm over by Joey.
come over
We're
here and
good.
get warmed up with me, baby. I got you.
That's funny. So that's pretty much all I got for Indy, man. Unless you got anything else, because like I said, any size the last 20 laps, I caught myself really getting into it. But that's pretty much all I was getting into.
Well, at the end of the day, with that race, that is probably my most or the favorite race of the year for myself. It
Yeah.
is again rich in tradition. Everything they do about that back home in Indiana, I can sing that for you if you'd like.
Oh no, we're good.
Um, Back home again in
Man,
Indiana. I don't know
oh my
anything
God.
else about it, but man, I love that part of it. Gives me chills. And then
Let me play some music behind you so you can
it was
sound really good.
it was a safe race, and that's what we can ask. And let's go back to the tire that went flying over the grandstands.
Oh my God.
Man,
Thank God I did not hit nobody.
wow, that was bad. And what scared me is when the camera went away and they just kind of they didn't show the wreck, or they didn't go back to the replays. That's when I started fearing the worst. But
Yeah.
quickly, social media is great. You look down and there's TikToks and everything else
Yeah, man. You put that in
of
the
the
group like that. I was
yeah,
like,
of the
damn.
car, the tire hit. So no, John. I mean, Indy was great. Everybody walked away. It seemed
Yep.
like it was a. I mean, they packed the house there. I mean, it's
300,
sad. It's
300,000.
yeah. It's. I wish the Cup guys could get back to that, because
Yeah.
when they went there in the '90s, they did that. They did. I forgot how many people showed up just for the tire test there. It was an enormous amount of people that
Right.
just showed up for the tire test for the Cup Series there. But I mean, again, you had superstars in racing back in those days. So it's going to be hard to ever get back to that. And like I said, I think that's where they're working really hard on this race car to make it where we're getting a lot more racing. It's a more
They better
racier
fix that
car.
short track. They better fix that short track shit. I mean, fast. They need to fix that shit fast.
Well, as long as you've got Junior and some of these guys talking about it, I mean,
Yes.
that's the only thing that's going to fix the sport, because obviously the people at NASCAR are clueless about what it takes to make a race car work. I don't know what the hell that Cup car is they've created. I mean, I
Ah.
sometimes I look at it and I'm like, man, that's not a bad looking car. And then sometimes I look at it and say, that's the ugliest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the number situation, I'm like, it
Oh,
doesn't look
I hate
bad.
the numbers, man.
It doesn't look bad, but
Hate
then
it.
you're like, and then you look at it again. Then I watched the Xfinity race late last night, and then
Hmm.
you're like, man, that's a race car. Watching the
Yes.
Xfinity, that's a race car.
That's
So
the race car that the cup cars, I mean, the cup guys should be in, man. That car is badass.
I
Yes, in
agree.
my
I
opinion.
agree. And
That's
that
just,
we'll get to it in a minute, but that Xfinity race was unbelievable last night. I mean,
yes, I didn't watch it. So let's just jump right in. I didn't watch it because I had to go to work this morning. So 4:15 comes really early. So I
Yeah,
was
oh
like,
yeah,
I was like, good night. I'll just read about it. And they said it was a hell of a race.
yeah. It was. It was John Hunter Nemechek and Allgaier raced, and it came down to being a fuel mileage situation, and which evidently it wasn't because Allmendinger. I mean, um, the seven. Help me. I just said his
Oh,
name.
Corey LaJoy.
No,
Oh
no,
no no.
no.
Oh, and
Allgaier. Allgaier.
Argyle. Yeah, Justin
Allgaier.
Argyle.
He
So
was
I was
able to
reading the
do.
comment. I was reading the
Yeah,
comment. My bad.
he was able to do 100 donuts and stuff like that. So it wasn't evidently a big fuel issue there for
Yeah.
him. But it was a hell of a race, man. His cars are slipping and sliding all over the racetrack.
I'm glad that he won. By the way, I like that dude a lot.
Yeah, first win of the season.
Yeah.
So
For
locked in the
Earnhardt,
playoffs
period.
now. Yep, yep. So it was a good win. It was a great race.
Yeah.
Truck series. I watched some of that race. It was typical Charlotte.
Yeah.
Don't
I watched a little bit of it. I didn't watch a lot of the truck race, but I don't know, man. Truck is a hit or miss for me. It's I don't know. I just can't get into it this year, Joey. The trucks I just cannot get into this year. I don't know why. And I was a big Haley Deeger fan. Maybe that's why I was into it for the
you
last
pick
two
the
years.
worst freaking drivers to pull for.
Well, I just
What
wanted
do
to
you re-
see.
what do you
I
reach
wanted
in
to
a
see.
bag of shit drivers and you say, "Who can I pull for this week?"
Hey, Joey. Top 5, 4 weeks in a row. We're getting better. That's all I'm gonna say. All
Yeah.
I'm gonna say.
Well, I look going back to your boy. I mean, you
Hold
got
on,
to.
we're
Yeah.
gonna get to
Go ahead.
him. We're gonna get to him.
Sure.
I got something to get off my chest. We're gonna get to him. We'll get to him. But the truck race, man, I just cannot. She just so disappointed me. So my new person in the truck race, man, I wish Raja would get up there and start mixing it up. Really, really do. I like Raja a lot. Plus, he comes from our world, man, and he lived in D.C. He lives right down the street from me. So I was like, man, I really like to see that dude do something. That would be pretty awesome. But he's been bad luck, not because of him, but just bad luck. Period. So yeah, the truck race has been really tough for me. It just has.
Well, it was. I mean, again, Ben Rhodes. I had to pull this up. I watched it. Can't remember who won the damn race, but
Oh yeah, Ben
I
Rhodes.
do. Ben Rhodes. He looked
I like
awesome,
that dude. I like
super
that dude.
fast. The one that I don't know where he came from is Dean Thompson. The guy flipped at Talladega in the Xfinity Series. I believe it's the same guy. Destroyed a car, worst wreck I've ever seen.
Mhm.
Now he's running some of the top tier stuff. I mean, he must come from a shitload of money because he's getting in some good stuff. But he wound up. Corey Heim finished second, and then
Yeah.
Dean Thompson third. Carson, host of our fourth, which host of our now is going to get a cup ride, thanks to your
Yep.
buddy,
Yep. Yep.
uh, Mr. Chase Elliott. He's going to be in a seven Spire car
And by the
to
way,
gateway.
he does really good in that Xfinity car, man. Like I think he might be better in the Xfinity car than he is in the trucks.
Well, he had a great race last night in the Xfinity Series. He was running
Yep.
top 10 all race
He got.
long, and
I think he finished fifth.
yeah, it was fuel. A lot of them had to stop. I think the first two or three cars stayed out. It was amazing they made it,
Mhm.
but yeah, he had a strong run. I mean, dude, the Xfinity race was unbelievable. I mean, to watch those cars sliding around, it was worth. And it again is what kept me up. Is because they were just absolutely all over the racetrack. I mean, they were
Yeah,
sliding in the corners, and it was just
that's
something
pretty
to
awesome.
watch last night. Yep, absolutely.
That's pretty awesome. So we talked about the Cup race pretty much. The Cup race I thought was awesome. I thought it was a really good race, man. People were in and out, in and out. My boy, he went into the pits at one time at ninth, and then he came out 29th. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Then we find out Michael McDowell slid into his pits, knocked Bubba off his jack stand. I mean jack. So that put him back. Um, Ryan Blaney was just wicked fast, man. Wicked fast. That was crazy. And then I got to see Kyle Larson wipe it out all by himself. That's
Yep,
good to see.
yep.
Somebody that damn good, losing control of the car. That's really good to see. Kyle Busch doing the same thing. Um, yeah, I thought it was an awesome race, man. Last night I was sitting there, uh, having a couple and eating some crabs and just enjoying it, man. It was awesome, if you ask me.
Well, I liked. I'm not a big stage person, but I did like the 100 lap stages. That was
Yes,
that was, I guess, if you're gonna have it, that was easy to keep up with, right? And
Yeah,
you
it
know,
was.
for
I loved it, especially for the race pool that we do. That was great thinking, by the way. Thank you, sir. That was good thinking. I'm
well,
going to do that from
that
now on.
that helped too. For you gamblers out there, John. John puts on a hell of a show every week. I was asking him to if he knew how much money he's actually paid out because I know a lot of
Yeah.
people watching this and that's a part of the podcast that tune
Well,
in
here, let's figure this
is
out right now. Let's figure it out.
has
What race are we on right now? What number? What number race are we on? Let's figure
this
this out.
season.
Yeah. What number race is it?
Hell, I
I
have
think
no
it's
clue.
12. I think it's 12. Let's just say 12. Okay. Here, let's just check because I can tell you what we have done so far this year. I can tell you.
Well, 12 times 360 is
Yep.
4,320.
Yep. Exactly.
So you
So that's how much. Hold on. That's just us guessing. Let's get the right number. I want to get the right number now. You figure. Uh, here we go. You have one.
can you key the Jeopardy
Oh,
music up?
14. 14 races.
Oh, 14 races.
Yep. So, what's that? 14 times 360 is $5,040.
5,040, and then you did last year all 36 races. Is that correct? Plus you
uh,
doubled up on some.
yeah, yep, yep. They double up on
So
some of them. So
so you're well over, I would say, well over $20,000 and prize money that's paid out. I know.
the RSA,
We got to find a way to rig this shit. Is what I'm saying.
no shit, man. We could get a Xfinity deal. Fuck, if we just. Oh damn it! Another word.
Yeah,
I'm saving up my cuss words for my rant that I got because I'm pretty sure that's gonna slip. But yeah, my race pool, man, is pretty awesome. The person that won this week, it's our third time this season.
third
This
time this season.
third time this
See,
season.
that's the stats that I want to see. I want to see who the lucky person is, and I
Oh,
want
I
to
can go back and look at all my
fly them
stats.
to down here and take them to a casino or something like that. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, no shit. Good point. Yeah, she's won 3 times. So that's crazy.
That's the like you should have like you could go and like we ought to do it for the podcast. You're talking about moving it to the podcast now.
Yeah.
Then
Yep.
we could create or you could create the all-time winningest person who's won the most, how much they've totaled,
Oh, I can.
and
We can do
that would
something like that.
be some really cool stats and some disappointing stats to know that we've donated so much money to certain people.
Yeah, good point. Good
So,
point.
but yeah, I mean that's really cool. But the uh, the luck that you have to have. But now you add the chases into it, the stages. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that for now on. So, but now talking about Chase, going back to him, man, we got some video. The one that you shared with me today, the slow motion. Oh, that is crazy, Joey. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh
The
yeah,
slow
yeah.
motion of Denny.
Of Denny's impact.
Watch the bam. God, let's start that over. Let's
Slow motion.
literally just watch his neck because that's all he keeps talking about today on his podcast. How bad his neck feels and how bad he's going to feel tomorrow. This is hit on at 170, 180. Wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, yeah. Easy, easy.
Of Denny's impact.
He almost hits the steering wheel.
Yeah,
It's
that's
almost hits the
Motion of
steering
Denny's
wheel.
impact.
Bam! See how close he comes to that steering wheel? That's
that's
insane.
that's violent.
Yes, that is. That's what Chase Elliott did right there, right there. Good job, buddy. Good job, piece of shit. So, damn it, third one. All right, I'm just gonna put a freaking jar out here and start dropping dollars in it just for security. I mean, for saving purpose. Shit, but yeah, that's crazy. When you sent me that, I was like, oh my god, that is like really violent. I mean, he almost hits the steering wheel with
Motion of
his
Denny's impact.
visor. Bam! God damn, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's.
That's
But again, I know we talked about it earlier. We kind of got this thing started off with the conversation, but that alone right there just tells you what using a race car for weapon,
yeah,
what it actually
absolutely.
can do to a driver inside the car. They got a ton of safety equipment inside there, and
Yeah.
there's nothing you can really do to. with a head-on
Insanity.
impact.
You shouldn't be racing.
It's crazy. It's crazy how how they can do this to somebody and not even worry. Like he had no worries in his world when he did his interview. He was like trying to be cool as a cucumber. It's like, dude, you almost hurt somebody. Could have easily hurt somebody, killed
Yeah,
somebody.
I didn't see the wreck when it happened. I was driving home,
Oh yeah, I
but
texted you.
yeah, and I turned it on. But the thing is the one thing that crossed my mind was, well, at least he didn't go and like Denny be a dumbass and sit there and tell everybody he did it on purpose.
Right, right.
He at least
He tried.
lied and covered it up as best he could.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, it was just so bad that hopefully he gets Denny gets a phone call on that one for
Uh,
sure or something.
something, man. He better.
Yeah.
I mean, if not, that's. Oh, oh yeah, Ricky. Denny Hamlin had to go get some new fluid balloons. He had to go get some new underwear for sure, man. Absolutely. But yeah, that's crazy. We already touched on this, man. But
So, can you do that in slow motion like that? Because I know we've talked about that deal. There was talking about Brad Keselowski, but that may have made it even worse
I
as
can't
far
do
as
it.
turning him in harder that angle when
Right.
Brad got in the back of the nine.
Yeah, I can't make it slower. I mean, that's all I can do is what I got. I can pause it like this. I can't do it slower though.
Oh,
I
that's
don't
fine.
have.
That's fine.
Yeah, but I mean, when Bubba did it, I didn't agree with it. I don't agree with this. Not just because it's Chase Elliott. It could have been anybody. It could have been Tony Stewart. I don't agree with this at all. It's crazy. Look, boom. He just straight turned. And Danny Hamlin has that. He tweeted the picture.
Of the
Um,
steering input.
yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep. He shared that. But that's crazy, man. That whole deal. I didn't think Chase Elliott would do that. I mean, he's done some crazy shit by slowing down Kevin Harvick. Uh, Kyle Larson puts him in the wall, then he brings out a caution, tries to mess up Kyle Larson's race. Kyle Larson still won that race, thank God, because he tried to mess up his own teammate. He cries, man. I don't like the dude. Never have. You know it. Everybody that does my race pool knows that I can't stand this dude. Uh, I don't know. I just don't like him. Can't stand the guy, man.
Well, it's hard to have respect for a guy that pulls a stunt like that. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I know,
absolutely.
like I said, there's a bunch out there crying on Facebook and thinks it's a terrible call, and they want to
That
use
just blows
Bubba
my
and
mind. That blows my mind. I'm sorry. You cannot tell me that that you're mad about that what happened. There's no way you can tell me that you're mad that they're making him sit down. Are you serious?
well,
That
I
dude
think
could have killed somebody.
Chase is getting away with.
Oh, he's
I
got
don't
away
I
with a
don't I
lot of
don't
shit.
I don't want to say getting away with murder because that's a terrible thing to say right now in this situation. But the fact that he's going to be playoff eligible, I mean, he needs to go to
Yes.
anger management classes.
Yes.
They ought
Absolutely.
to run him through the ringer because again, this is setting the precedence for the next time this happens and so forth and so on. I would make this strong enough that these guys think
Yes.
twice about using their race car as a weapon. Sitting them out
They
one race, I don't really know that it's going to do a whole lot.
yeah. The the thing the thing that I wish they would have did was did a little bit worse each time. So I don't know what they could have done, but anything would have been whatever Bubba got because he was the first one. The second one should have been a little bit worse. Then the third one should be even worse. You know what I'm saying? Just keep going till these fuckers catch on and say, "I'm not
Another one.
doing that no more."
Yeah.
Shit, that's another one. But yeah, that's my opinion. I think this dude gets away with a lot of stuff anyway, and he doesn't drive the greatest. He wants to bitch about everybody else, and yeah, it's sore subject with me, man. I don't like this guy at all, and I think he's there just because of his name. To be honest, Josh Berry, I have said it over and over, proved that. I'm hoping Corey LaJoy proves it this week. It doesn't matter who's in that car, you're gonna be racing, and you're gonna be racing up front. Plain and simple. I hope Corey LaJoy shows that this week. Man, I'm a biggest Corey LaJoy fan this week. Just so if he can prove that point for me, oh my God, I might go buy his T-shirt. I might go buy his T-shirt and just call it a day.
No,
But yeah,
Ricky just said the common denominator in both suspensions is Hamlin. So
mm, yeah, okay, true. I do agree with that.
I'm not a Hamlin fan either. So I get it.
That's the
I mean,
greatest. That's the greatest boss ever. No, I was never a Denny Hamlin fan to be honest. He's starting to grow on me, I guess, because with the whole he car owner above her. But I don't know. I think he's a good for NASCAR, man. The way he puts it NASCAR on their toes, like he calls them out, plain and simple. I like that. I really do.
well, he
What?
does. I mean, he does have that going for him. I mean, the guy
Yeah.
he does have a platform. He does use it. Junior uses his platform, and I think they
Hmm.
both um, Hamlin wrecks well. I mean, Hamlin not very many weeks ago in Kansas, wrecked Larson.
This guy. Yeah. Yeah. And
So I
he
mean,
said
but I
every day.
mean, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, what do you consider? Like, I mean, do you want to sit here and like, I don't know what he did in Kansas. Yeah, it's high speed. It was dumb. He got lucky that wasn't bigger than it was. But
Yeah.
it's almost like the pie calling the kettle black in a lot of ways. Or was it a mistake on his part? I mean, we didn't.
That one was super close to even. You really can't debate unless you're Denny Hamlin, truthfully, because that was so close. Because even Kyle Larson said that he was out of control when he got hit. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know enough to argue about that one because I can see both sides. To be honest, can I get on my rant, Joey? I
Go
really
ahead.
want to get on my rant. I really want to get on my rant. I mean, Bubba Wallace. Okay, guys, if I could show you my wall, I would. Bubba Wallace everywhere. I got die cast all over this place of Bubba Wallace. I changed all my iRacing stuff to car 23, except 7500. There's another guy got 23, which he's a Bubba fan. But anyway, so I'm getting sidetracked. So I'm telling you right now, I'm the biggest. I will argue with anybody, but I'm getting tired of it, to be honest. I really am. This guy has been up front for weeks at a time now, and it seems like every single time he's got something going on. Joey's been pointing this out to me, and I've been arguing with Joey. And last night it just really proved it. I mean, how childish can you be, my man? Stop. Just leave your freaking hands on the steering wheel. Leave them in the car. Stop it. Just race, man. You did it to the TV. Now you're doing it to drivers. Stop being childish. Bubba, knock the shit off, man. Go race. Go do your thing, bro. Stop doing childish shit. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. As a fan, I mean, you coming fourth last night, hell of a comeback. And the first thing that pops up on my Facebook is you getting pushed because you cussing out one of the nicest dudes down there, man. You cussing out one of the nicest guy down there that would not wreck you on purpose. That dude is super nice, is what I have read and what I've seen on TV. I don't know him personally, but come on, man, this is ridiculous. This is so crazy. Then when you get pushed, you like shook it off, just kept walking. I mean, don't be a bitch at that point. Go up to him and go speak your mind. Go push him back or do something. Leave your goddamn hands on the steering wheel. Stop being a child. I'm over it. I'm tired of it. You're never gonna get nobody to turn their thinking around if you keep doing dumb shit. And I'm done with it. I'm not arguing no more with people about Bubba Wallace. I'm just gonna enjoy watching Bubba Wallace. That's my guy. I will argue with his dumb shit. But if he's doing dumb shit, I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to try to make it even look like he's doing something right or doing something wrong. I'm just not going to do it no more. I'm tired of it. I want to watch the NASCAR race and watch my guy race. I don't give a shit, Bubba. I approved it. I don't give a shit if you're racing in the back. I really don't. When using the 43 car, that dude's in the back all the time. And I stayed there and watched him and rooted for him. I don't care that now you're in front. I'm gonna be an even bigger fan. I was a bigger fan. I've been fan of Bubba since he raced late models. I've been following him all the way up. I'm just tired of it, Joey. You was right. He's always doing something stupid for the haters to even hate him even more. Um, you know, I've said it for years with Kyle Busch. Stop eagering these people on, man. I told you about my incidents at the racetrack. I'm over it. Stop acting like a child, Bama. Be a damn race car driver. Keep your hands on the wheel. You're proven, and nobody's seeing it because you're fucking sorry. Another one. You're making dumb decisions, and nobody's paying attention that you're fucking finishing top five 4 weeks in a row. 4 weeks. That's big for Bubba. That's big. 4 weeks. You count the All Star as 5 weeks. So come on, bro. Get your shit together. Stop acting like a childish little dude. So that's my rant, Joey. I had to rant about him. Uh, that's my guy, but I can't do it no more, man. You ain't catching me arguing with you no more on a Monday morning, Joey. Blah blah blah. I just can't do it no more. You're right. I've seen it now over and over. Joey's been saying to me and texts and just like this talking together. He's always doing something to feed the haters. And he did it again this week. Did it again this week, and I saw it clear as day. And I was like, I'm done. No more. I can't argue. Which I almost got kicked out of my new team right away. Boss man already almost threatened to kick me out. I only lasted 4 days. But that was the reason. I mean, they didn't even say nothing bad, and I was like already defending mode, and I was like, why? What's the point? If you're gonna act like a child, I'm not gonna sit here and argue with people and try to make it look like you're not acting like a child. Let's not do it
Well,
no more.
that's the world today, which I don't understand. It's just like the Chase Elliott thing we talked about earlier. Bubba fans are quick to just. I mean, no, that's not directed to you, but it's everything in this world today. It's a people are so easy to get set off, and they just
Yes.
can't let shit be what it is. I mean,
And I
again, you
raised my hand
mentioned,
on that. I mean, I
yeah,
was, and it's because all the haters. It's like as a Boa fan, I'm pretty sure Kyle Busch fans are exactly the same way. Not now, because now he's getting cheered. Which Carl Edwards was like, "What the hell's going on?"
well,
He
I mean,
said that to
hey,
her.
look, Kyle Busch, that's a completely different situation. As a fan of Kyle Busch, you can take all the shit you want. At
Yeah,
the end of
he's
the day, he's
winning.
winning races.
Exactly.
So, you know,
Exactly.
Bubba's always getting himself, and it's like he's got to always find a way to get some headline,
Yes. Yes. And
and
it's starting to
and
be shown. It's
and
starting to
it
be
just it
noticed.
just some headline. And the fact of being, again, we mentioned this last week, just crammed down our throats as far as that's concerned. And
Hmm.
I don't think I don't know, it couldn't be fun being a fan of somebody that I think is probably the most hated guy.
Oh, it's
um
fun sometimes. I ain't gonna lie.
I
But
don't
not when he does stupid shit like this, man. I'm
well,
done
I
with it.
mean, the thing is too, though, I mean, you get to that stage, and in your life as a professional and a team like that, and every day is what you're going to be remembered by.
Right.
So
Right.
it's is that what he wants to be remembered? Like he's going to look back at this when he gets older, or whenever his deal, like he could end his racing career just based on his attitude and his. I mean, I don't think Bubba's mentally, there. I think he's got a lot of problems.
Hmm.
Maybe he should talk more about that. But I mean, because clearly he does. Daytona, when he went in there just bawling, crying and stuff, it felt
Yeah.
like it was
Yeah.
more just like it was just a show.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, I just think a lot of his shit is just premeditated crap to continue to get his. They're going to put his name out there
Oh,
no matter what, but it's
kick him
not.
off the team. Kick this guy off the damn team, Joey. Kick him off. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
Yeah, and Ricky just said it best. He's like, people are very defensive of their viewpoints these days, and that's the truth. I mean, if you're a Democrat or Republican, or whatever you may be, again, I personally don't see how anybody in this world could be a Democrat. I think that
Hey, this
I,
wrong
I think
show.
I
Wrong
think
show.
I think they're about as many as they are Bubba fans, but
Hey.
um, but
You know what, Joey?
I mean, it is. I mean, it's like the good old days of
I'm one of
when
the
we
Bubba
just.
fans that been with Bubba since the damn pro late models. I've been
Yeah, I
watching
mean,
that dude since pro late models.
well, I mean, it's not just him. It's the reaction with Chase. It's the reaction of that. It's just um, there's nothing wrong with Bubba other than Bubba. I mean, if he just
Yeah,
shut
yeah,
up, like you
yeah.
mentioned, John, and and drive his race car and finish fifth and get out and act like a class act. I mean,
Yes, I'm tired.
that's the part that I've been harping on for so long with him. It's there's absolutely nothing. Like I was a fan of Bubba because he's from Mobile, Alabama.
Hmm.
Okay, I
He's a
didn't give a
Bama,
shit. I didn't care what color he is. You
right?
know, that's something that I don't know. I love something else too. I love watching if you go into the NASCAR
Oh my
forums or
God.
you go into Facebook
Nope.
groups. There's nothing better than white on white hate. There's so many white people ready to call another white person a racist.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I've
yeah,
it
yeah.
is disgusting when you walk into. I've left so many groups because if it didn't agree because
Yep.
they don't like him, they've automatically painted him as a racist because they're white.
Correct.
White people using that word ought to be slapped the shit out of them. Like you need the taste slapped out of your mouth if you're a white person calling another white person a racist because they don't agree with they don't like Bubba. Period. Well,
Right,
they're
right.
racist. So I
Well,
mean,
yes, you
there's
are.
so much there's so much turmoil and shit around
Yeah.
him. It's hard to be a fan
And
for
and
him.
and he and yeah, I got other points. I mean, NASCAR helped with that. NASCAR has helped with having that shit around Bubba, and Bubba fed into it, if you ask me.
Well,
But
this weekend was all him. I mean, that
oh
was
no,
all
no,
him.
no! I'm talking
So
about what really got everybody pissed off in the first place. Because Bubba had a fan base, man, until everything happened. So it's yeah. I'm done with my rant. Don't, Doug, you're gonna get kicked off the team already. No more paint jobs for you. And if I do, I'm putting Bubba Wallace on your back bumper. I'm putting his logo on your back bumper. But I had to do my rant, man. I mean, I seen it. I seen it finally. Even my mom texted me and was like, "Oh my God, when's that boy gonna grow up?" I'm like, "Man, you're so right. I can't even argue with my mom. She's the one that argues with me every week." I'm like, Jesus. But yeah,
But
there's my
this is it.
rant, man.
This is the legacy that he's leaving behind. It's the legacy. You look at Chase, what he did, he's going to be known for. I mean, what Chase did this past weekend at Denny Hamlin, that's going to go with him. That's going to go down the road with him. He's going to be known for that, and that's not going to leave him. Yeah,
Right.
he's going to be known for purposely wrecking somebody in the worst possible place on a racetrack. I mean, you almost have to say, are you mentally fit, or have they got to that point where they just think they're you know, bigger than they really are. I mean, let's be honest. These salaries they're making.
Oh
I
man.
mean,
And he's making a lot.
Chase
So
is probably doing pretty damn well. So I don't want to go there, but I mean, but like I said, it's not that he's not making money. It's just the fact that I think he's gotten way too bigger
yeah. Yeah.
than his pants can hold. I guess I don't know what the adage is, but I mean, he's an arrogant son of a bitch. To be honest, maybe that's where it
Yeah.
comes
I
down
mean,
to.
dude,
He's
I've
hit
seen
that
that at the
level, and
racetrack.
he's hit
Yeah.
that level, and I've heard people talk about it all the time as far as the chase goes, running between haulers and shit, trying to get away from fans and just trying to
Yeah,
get out of the
I've seen
racetrack.
it. Seen
So
it.
I
Seen it.
mean, and then
He
you've got
got
a guy
more
like
security around him than our so-called president. He's got more security around Chase than him. I'm
then you got
telling
a
you,
guy
it's
like
crazy.
Bubba that if he would just be himself, then
Hey, I've had conversations with that man 4 times, and dude, it's super nice. Josh, I agree, man. I agree. You know I'm a Bubba fan. I bought so many cars from you. But what I'm saying though is you gotta agree with me as a Bubba fan. It's getting tiring to see him act like a fool, man. Just drive the race car. He's proven that he's got a race car. He's proven that he can drive it. Now just concentrate on doing that. And I'm telling you, it's gonna come around. People will start coming back around. It might take a long time, but it's going to happen if he just fucking do it. Bubba, if you ever listen to this or see it, probably not. I'll tag your ass in it. But dude, just drive your race car. There goes my rant.
enough of
There goes
Bubba
my
because I think anybody tunes in thinks this is the Bubba Wallace
rant. But
podcast.
I had my rant, man. As soon as it happened, I said I gotta do it. But
Well,
look,
we almost had some additional fireworks in the race too. Did you catch the Stenhouse and Kurt Busch stuff
yep,
toward
yep,
the end of the race? That was awesome. I thought we
yep.
were going to see one of them lose their shit and have another crazy incident, but luckily they smoothed that over. I don't know. I haven't caught any kind of comments from anybody on where that stood.
Well,
But
okay. Let's see if we can hear it. I got his interview. I got Ricky Stenhouse's interview.
oh, do you? Okay, good.
Yeah, let's see if we can hear it. Let's see, guys. I recorded this, and we found out that I recorded it pretty low. So, but he just mentions it that he got into the wall. The eight puts him in the wall, but he wasn't like upset about it. It's pretty
Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who wheeled the 47 to a seventh place finish in the longest race of the year. First of all, how are you feeling after 600 miles?
I feel great. I got up and did the Murph workout this morning. My trainer wasn't real thrilled about that, but went ahead and did that, and then came out here, ran 600 miles. Our car was so good all night. We just fought some track position every now and then the eight fenced us there, and I felt like we would have had a top five if not for that. But all in all, a great 600 for us. It was what we needed after last week at the All-Star race. We kind of got beat up there a little bit, but cool to get another top 10. This team's doing a lot of good things.
A wild weekend, obviously dealing with weather, no track time, and so you took the green flag. But as a driver with no prep, getting in for 600 miles, easy peasy, or a little worried about it when you took the green flag?
Well, it's the same for everybody, so we're not too concerned about it. But I think all in all, you're a little cautious the first few laps, and I definitely was. We were definitely a little looser than I really thought we were going to be, and so that kind of caught me off guard. But my guys did a really good job on pit road and making adjustments and
see.
getting the car better all
He didn't
night.
say nothing much about it.
All right, seventh for our
He
Daytona
didn't say
500.
nothing much about it. He just said that him and the A car got into it. The A car put him in the wall. So
Well, they raced hearts. That
did
was
you see him?
something that.
He did come down like he was trying to hit him.
Yeah,
So
Doug Roth just put up something that's here for Legacy
oh
Motorsport.
my God.
That
Hey
was
Doug, are they even in the race? Are they even there? I think.
two
I mean,
cars taken
yeah.
out by a radiator, something going through the radiator. And then what's going on with Jimmy Johnson? I mean,
Oh,
look,
let's
Jimmy
talk about that.
Johnson is absolutely you were the pathetic is absolutely working out great. To be a
Yeah.
seven-time champion to come back to the series and act like
Yes.
you've been gone for 30 years is just I can't even get my head around it. You go run
He
IndyCar.
destroying his name. He is destroying his legacy. I mean, plain and simple.
No, yeah, I mean he spun out. I don't know if there was damage to the car or they had some break as why he spun, but I mean he spins out by himself
By himself, man.
and
7 times.
it's the seven-time champion. But I mean, you know, Chad Canals made that thing work for sure. But yeah, I don't know, man. That's Jimmy Johnson's got to get it together. I mean, either retire or get in the race car and drive.
Yes.
It is bad. I mean, it is really bad.
Just retire. Just go and do some late model
I don't
racing.
want to see him retire. I want to see the guy come back and add another name to the chapter, and just add another like Casey Kane talked about wanting to come back to NASCAR.
Yeah, he said he's
Um,
healthy too.
there's
He
a
said,
lot of guys that the sport needs right now. They need a lot of people to. Carl Edwards needs
no,
NASCAR needs
no,
Carl Edwards to come back to
no.
NASCAR.
I did not agree with that. I did not like that. Mm, I did not like that guy. I did not. You think Ross is bad? Jesus Christ! If he comes back, it's going to be 10 times worse. If
You're
you
talking
ask
about the
me,
Brad and Carl stuff. Yeah, I mean that was terrible,
it was terrible. Oh yeah,
but I
and
mean I think the
Toyota next
sport.
year.
I really think the sport
And
needs these guys.
then he's going to Toyota next year, Joey. So I don't know. I don't know. But look, we already had an hour, man. We're sitting here talking, having fun, Joey. I love it. It's so much fun. But I want
I
to
would love to, Josh, just Carl should come back. I'd love to, like
no.
that conversation about Carl is maybe other people out here that are listening. Maybe Ricky knows more about this because Ricky knows his shit when it comes to racing. But the whole situation with Carl Edwards, I think, just my opinion on the situation is Daniel Suarez was not supposed to have won that championship in the Xfinity Series. The Eris or whatever it was, that sponsorship that was on Carl's car that was actually sponsoring Daniel,
Yeah.
that was the money. And Carl did not have another contract, or he didn't have a contract past that season. And when we roll into Daytona, they just like Carl Edwards. If you've heard the story, Carl Edwards was the guy walking around passing out business
Yep.
cards.
I love his
So
story. I
so
do.
so for me, a guy like myself, a blue collar guy that's put a lot of heart and soul into just getting to a racetrack, you don't take that shit out of somebody. You
Right.
don't just stop unless, like I say this, making a joke about $3 million not being life changing money. Carl made a shit ton of money. So
A
so
lot of
let's
money.
be honest. You drive a race car, or you hope to drive a race car with the intentions of making a bunch of money. And then it makes life a lot easier. And then, yeah, maybe you can, if you've got a bunch of money like Carl probably did,
Right.
to walk away. So I understood it as Suarez wins the championship. Eris wants their man, their Mexican champion, in the Cup car. Carl has nowhere to go the following year because that's Daniel's seat regardless.
You don't think
And
he could
I
have got a
heard,
ride? You don't think
well,
he could have got a ride?
I think that it wasn't, couldn't get a ride. All the good rides were taken. And then where's he going to find $30 million just laying on the side of the road? I think it was a
Yeah.
sponsorship issue, but I also heard that there was a large amount of money given to Carl to get him to step away. So like 30 million
Really?
or something. I heard it was a good bit of money that got Carl to step away from the sport. So
Shit.
he just didn't walk away. He was paid off to walk away from the sport, is what I know.
Wow. Okay. These days. Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Yeah. Eh,
Isn't
yeah. I
that
mean,
what he
I
did?
guess. I. I don't know. Maybe I just see him. Everybody calls Danny Hamlin the choke artist when it comes to the championships. He's another one. He choked twice. He just choked, and I don't know. I just never really a big fan of Carl Edwards. I didn't like the way. I'm not a Matt Kenseth fan, but I took him as a bully when he did that to Matt Kenseth, and that just
Yeah.
rubbed me the wrong way. So I don't know. If he comes back, it probably would be good for the sport. But I mean,
Well, it's a guy. Look, that's the thing. What you
and
have
he's
to have.
jacked up. By the way, he's jacked up. That
He
dude is.
is. He is. But
Stay away from Bubba.
Carl has a fan base, and that's what a lot of the drivers today don't have.
Yeah.
Casey Kane has a massive fan base. So if you get some of these guys coming back to the sport, it is going to help the sport. Even like Ryan Newman coming back for a couple races.
Yeah.
Ryan Newman has fans. Ryan Newman's built up a career. He has got respect. So the
Right.
more of these guys that walked away, and I think a lot of guys retire because of money. They
Yeah.
retire because of sponsorship. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, why would you walk away from the greatest job in the world driving race cars? I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
either you get to a point where you're like, okay, I've had enough. I don't need any more money. I want to go just do nothing. But I mean, let's be honest, dude. I mean, you got Monday through Wednesday to kind of chill out. Then you
Yeah.
fly in, do your stuff, run a car for a few hours, and go home. It's not that bad of a life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I'll
I
try it for a
agree.
little bit. If they want to walk away, I'll try it.
Yeah. 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 Put your ass in there, Slim. Hey,
We're working on it. And then also too, we have to lose some weight.
yeah.
Um,
Yes, yes.
I,
Yeah,
I'm gonna I'm gonna be back in.
Bubba
I,
Paula, baby.
my big ass is gonna be back in a car. I'm hoping January for the Daytona test and the ARCA series, so I'll get
So,
the
hey,
approval
by the way,
done,
am I getting
and
flown
then
down there so I can hang out and see everything for the podcast? Am I gonna get flown out there, or I gotta buy my own shit?
well, they're gonna put you in a cargo plane. You got to jump when you get near the
Oh
racetrack. It's about
shit!
our budget, but
Hey,
maybe a
John,
train, maybe a
John, your
train,
stop. Here's your stop, bitch.
maybe a
Damn it.
train, or
Hey,
we
that's
can put
fine.
you in a
I'll just sit there for 12 hours like this.
FedEx box and send your ass down.
That's a big ass box. You know how much shipping will cost? How much I weigh? There ain't gonna be no free shipping there, buddy. But hey, let's talk about iRacing, man. Monday night. Monday night was very, very, very interesting, man. That dude Pedro, where did he come from? Like, what was the last year's champion? Daniel.
Dana
Daniel,
Falkenham.
yeah, that dude leaves and Pedro says, thank you for the spot. I mean, he just kicks ass, man. Pedro is just dominating this season, man. He's doing it everything that he drives too. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's something. I mean, he's been doing it a long time, and
And he's a cool guy. And he's a
I,
cool dude.
Pedro probably doesn't remember this, but back in Sim 500 days, years and years and years ago, when it was on the NASCAR '03 platform, a friend of mine actually sponsored him. He drove the car, and his internet was terrible.
Oh
Um,
shit.
so he was more known for blinking and falling out than he was winning races. But that's how far back, and I actually need to bring that up to him. But yeah, it was. Hell, it feels like we hadn't raced in forever, John. I don't even remember the race. I think
Yes,
we
man. It does
Yeah,
feel that way.
yeah,
It feels like we haven't raced in forever, and Wednesday night can't get here fast enough. To be
yeah,
honest,
yeah.
I
Well,
can't wait. Where
well,
where are
what
we racing at on Wednesday night? Do you
I
know?
think Vegas. I think Vegas. When we're
Okay.
talking about the NC 811 call before you dig Cup Series, will be at Charlotte. We do our version,
Mhm.
and for the few people out there that don't know what iRacing is, it's what non-race car drivers do at home in the air conditioning. Um, it's a lot of fun, but we've got the Never Quit. And actually, this was based around Bryce Whitsitt. Bryce was a former Hendrick um, crew member, and Bryce got really sick. I think it was leukemia, actually.
Mm.
And unfortunately, our buddy here, Judea, he's 2 years old. This is a driver in our series, Pastor, the Fast Pastor, Stony Benefield. It's his grandson. So he's 2 years old, Judea, and he's battling leukemia right now. So we are all going to be supporting Judea on our cars next Monday night
Oh
at
yes.
Charlotte. So I talked to Stony yesterday, and we want to work on getting a custom die cast of Stoney's car or a car to give to him, to kind of remember this event for him. So that's the big thing for us. We have a little bit of a platform at 7500. So to have a race, and last year we did it for our good friend Ed Burrell. Ed passed away before Daytona. We might have talked about Ed last week because we mentioned this race before, but we got that coming up next Monday night, John. So that should be fun. I was hoping Stoney could be here tonight, but he did have a race that he was running. So that's he probably hopefully he's running good tonight.
Yeah. Hopefully he is. I mean, you're gonna have him on your hood, by the way. He's gonna be on your hood. I'm gonna put that on my car too. I don't know where I'm gonna put it yet. I might put it in the same spot. But that's gonna be your hot rod for Monday night, man. And uh I hope you go out there and kick ass with that little man on your hood. I think that's pretty awesome. Wish his granddaddy could have joined us tonight. That would have been cool to talk with him.
Yeah, John, I don't know. The whole computer racing, sim racing thing in the real world, it's I've gained so much respect for what you have to do to be fast in a simulator, and it is by far the hardest thing I've ever done. It's you can't you can't put in words what it takes to drive these cars, how precise you have to be with everything that you do. So, I'm now feel like I'm to the point where, with the right equipment, I'm actually able to run with some of these guys. I'm qualifying in the top 10 a bunch right now. So for me, that's like I've won a real race at times. It's that big for me to
Yeah,
race against some of
absolutely.
these guys. So we're excited about it, John. Appreciate the car. We're looking forward to taking our little podcast on the road at Charlotte.
Yes,
And this is
sir.
in this podcast, at the end of the day, this is it's just it's water cooler talk, if you will. It's just fans, both of us, that just want to talk racing. And I mentioned to John, I don't really have a whole lot of people to talk racing with.
Yeah, me
My my
neither.
wife my wife runs and tells me she gets mad every time I bring it up. So I'm luring a trip in front of them to either Disney or just to go to Daytona for the test or something. And yeah, I guess we can go. So
I guess we'll go, Dad. I
I
guess.
guess, but we'll know. Hey, matter of fact, Stoney's just joining us now. It looks like he just jumped on
Oh
here.
yeah. Yep. Yep. Hold on. Let's let's see. Let's see who's Hey Sony, you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. This is John Fowler, man, and then Joey. How are you?
I'm doing great, John. How are you and Joey doing tonight?
Doing good, man. We just got done talking about some NASCAR, and we just, matter of fact, I'm gonna put the picture back up. We just got done talking about our race that we're gonna have on Monday night, with your grandson on everybody's car, and
Yeah, man.
can't wait to do that. That's gonna be pretty awesome.
Look at him there, man. He was just over here this afternoon, and I was seeing him. He had a treatment today.
Oh man, how did that go?
It went well. He's getting ready to enter he entered an 8 week phase. That's the toughest phase of his treatment today, and he's going to do fine. The Lord's going to be fine. Psalm 91:16 is what we're holding on to.
Okay.
And man, we so appreciate Joey, you in Sim 500 Series Esports League doing this to make him smile and to honor his family. We appreciate it so much.
Well, it's this race for us is very special. Period, and we're blessed that you're allowing us to let him come ride with us next week. It's our hobby, it's what we love, but we're all very passionate about it. It's all this sim racing is. I was telling John before you jumped on here. To me, it's harder to be precise and competitive in a simulator than it is to actually do it in a real race car. I mean, that's just I've done it both, and there's nothing in my opinion harder than what it takes to be competitive at some of the top sim racing leagues or series. So again, this race, it's our longest race of the year. We started it again. Bryce Whitson, the Never Quit logo. Bryce was a former Hendrick employee. And a matter of fact, Sony, I think Bryce battled leukemia himself. So
Really?
it's gone full circle. Yes. I mean, we're praying for Judea to get through this next 8 weeks
Absolutely.
and, to come out of this, as strong as ever. I hate to know that I don't know much about it, so all I can do is just say that we are definitely in your corner and we're blessed to have him on our hood. And
Mhm.
anything we can do to put a smile on this kid's face is the world to us.
Well, the support of the iRacing community, especially the league we run in here, has been just absolutely tremendous. The good news about this is there is a 95% cure rate. He was diagnosed on his second birthday, Christmas Eve. He was born on December the 24th. His second birthday is diagnosed, and of course, it was a shock then. But they're working through it. But I told him today. I said he calls me Pobby, Pobby, and I said, look at Pobby's race car. And he said, yeah. And I said, you want to drive it? And he said, yeah. And so I'm going to get him up here before the race and let him see it on my screen and get behind the wheel and drive it. And, you know, uh, got a great paint design, Joey, the guy that you turned me on to for that is just a wonderful paint designer. And we're looking forward to it. And we're going to have a lot of people from our church and other friends that are going to be viewing in that night. I know I shared it on Facebook, and goodness, people just kind of blew up, and people say, "I love this, I love this, I love this." So I hope it helps, Joey, your league, and I hope it brings a smile to Judah.
Yeah, at
Yeah.
the end of the day, that's what we're after. We're out here just adults playing a video game, and this kid's going through something that a lot of us have no idea. We're so blessed to have no idea, what the fight he's going through. A lot of us probably couldn't do what he's doing. So, um,
Absolutely.
that's
Yeah,
the
man.
thing. But yeah, like I said, we're just blessed to have you in the league and the friendship we have. And obviously, you make us all want to be a better person, Mr. Stoney, every time we're around you.
Well, I wanted to influence everybody I can with everything I have for, Christianity, and because I know how my life's been changed, but at the same time, man, I'm not pushing anything down anybody's throat. I'm not, manipulating anybody. I just am who I am by the grace of
Sure.
God,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
I respect everybody else, and but yeah, I really enjoy the league, Joey. You guys just you got a great thing going, and a full fields, and it's just really good. And then North Carolina 811 coming on board to help you and help me and help us. And Ann's in our church, and I had her on Discord the other night, just on my personal channel, and she was listening in. She said, "Man, there's a lot to this iRacing today." I said,
Well,
"Yeah,
there
there
Oh
really
my
is."
God.
it
Absolutely.
is. Well, and you're the fast passer. So for those out there, they're going to rewatch this later and hear it. Sony, could you kind of give us a little bit more of your background and what you do? Um,
Okay, sure. Well, I grew up in Hickory, North Carolina, which is the furniture capital of the world, over near High Point and all that area. And so
Mhm.
we did furniture as a family, and then I did that right out of high school, and then I was called. I was saved first. I became a Christian in '93, and then it's actually a miracle story. And then the Lord called me to preach, Joey and John, and goodness, I didn't volunteer. I'll tell you that. And so I surrendered to that, and I've been at this church in Albemarle for 18 years. I was
Wow.
at another church for 7 before that, been here 18 years, and the Lord has just blessed it. And I'm trying to teach people really what the Bible teaches about Christianity is to be salt and light. I mean, we got to get it. We got to engage the culture.
Right.
Not that we give in or we have to agree with everything, but and this is part of my engaging the culture, if you know what I mean. Getting in this league and having fun, me as a preacher, this is the first time I've ever had a hobby. I've just worked all the time, you know,
Right.
7 days a week, and now I got a hobby, and my wife says you need to be careful. I think it's become an addiction, and so
That's
Yeah,
what
I think.
happened to me.
Yeah, it happened to me too.
I
That
think it
happened to me.
I think it caused my first divorce actually. So,
oh my god, oh goodness,
I mean,
It was. I would
it,
say it might have almost called mine.
well,
Almost.
and that's the thing, being a preacher, and I'm so guilty of it. I am so competitive that my blood boils. Like, and the thing is that I know I can drive. I've driven and raced and won on the dirt tracks. I've been on asphalt tracks. I've driven. I mean, I can drive. Okay,
right,
but
right,
when I get on here and I'm consistently beat on a computer every single week, and then I realize that some of the equipment that I've been running has not been working properly.
yeah,
I fought that because my teammates. I'm so competitive with. I want to beat them as bad as they want to beat me. So I actually, John, I had to run from Pastor Stoney because I didn't want him to hear me. I mean, it's and we were down in Daytona for the ARCA race a few years back, and I had Jimmy Johnson, Spotter, Earl Barbin up on the box, and we were qualifying and everything. And I mean, you're talking, you're stressed to the T. And, I'm like, where do I go? Where do I go? And they wouldn't answer me. And then I exploded. It's like, it's so, it's the Italian in you that I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to fix that. A matter of fact, Dale Jr. was talking about it on the download, or I know it was he was on Joe Rogan. I'll have to look it up, but it was some kind of plant-based deal, sequoia or something. I don't know what it is, but I'm trying that to calm me down. Hopefully, it'll help my sim racing.
well, it's hey, listen, this stuff will make your blood boil.
It
Oh my
will.
And
God.
It
Yes.
will.
my
Yes.
wife told me, she said I could never do what you do because you know I get wrecked from time to time, and I try not to cause any. I have, and I make mistakes like everybody else. But when I get wrecked or something doesn't go my way, I just try to say no. You got a testimony to keep. Don't do that. If you do that, you're going to ruin everything you've said for a year. Don't
Hey,
do that.
just think the pressure, John, that Stoney's got on him, like to be
Yeah.
in a race and to know you
Absolutely.
can't you can't let go. You can't say it. I could
And he's racing
never.
around us knuckleheads. He's racing
Yeah,
around all of us.
and the self control that he's got, I would have lost it.
Yeah,
I'd have, I'd have,
absolutely.
I'd have been, yeah, I'd have been in trouble. But no, it's it again for people that don't know. I mean, that it's just I can't put into words what sim racing is and what it does and the
Yeah.
community. It's the
Yeah. The
community. I
community.
I am, when I leave this house, and fortunately my wife allows me to do this. Right, I'm in here. Running the league, which luckily there's not a whole lot to do in that, but I can race Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday if I want, but not anymore because kids are out of school, so we leave for the beach on
Yeah,
Thursday. But
exactly.
but she allows me to do this, and I'm gonna tell you, it is so competitive. I keep saying that over and over and over, but I love it. It's the greatest hobby out there. If you
It
love
is.
motorsports, and I'm sitting here in the cockpit right now, my hands on the shifter, and you guys
I
have
am
got me
too.
ready to race.
I am too.
Well,
I
hey,
just got.
That's a-
I
I
was
just
gonna
ran a
say
race.
you just ran a race. How'd that go?
yeah,
I
I was just
finished.
about to ask that.
Yeah, it's a truck league. It's an open truck league and open set. I
Oh
finished.
wow.
I finished seventh,
Oh,
and
nice.
yeah, I partnered with Cody Porter. I don't know if you know Cody Porter with
Mm-mm.
Zeem's Racing setup shop, but anyway, he. I actually race about 5 nights a week.
Hmm.
I do a open Gen Force league. Of course, I do your or our Sim 500 Cup League and Truck League, and I do the Friday nights when I can. When I don't have things going on. I do a Tuesday night truck league. I do Wednesday night with you. I do a Thursday night truck league, and I do a Saturday night. It's full length. I mean, we
Wow.
did 334 laps Saturday night
Woo.
at Texas,
Oh
Wow.
my God.
and I finished third in it. And it's an open league,
Wow.
and but I come over to the Sim 500, and these guys been racing for years. I
Yes.
mean, you got veterans, Joey, in your league, and the competition is so. If I can be a 10th to 8th to 15th place car, I feel like I've won the race. You know what I
Well,
mean?
that, and then when you go to these other leagues, I'm sure you walk out of the gate and you're probably a top 5 driver. I mean, that's what I've seen a lot of
It
guys
is.
do
Yeah.
is they leave and then, but see, a lot of our guys, they used to be iRacing pro drivers and
Yeah.
they know all the ins and outs and tricks and stuff. But I'll be honest with you, I found my biggest asset, and I'm looking at it right now. This VRS motor. This is the best thing I've ever bought. I love it. It is made. I've actually qualified in the top 10.
This
Uh,
was mine.
That's
This
what I
was
got.
mine.
That's exactly what I got, John. Yeah.
Yeah, I love this thing, man.
So you got a VRS wheelbase?
I went with the VRS. Yep, I had the AccuForce and couldn't get it to work, so I went to the VRS and just bought the midge motor and the stand. I put my MPI wheel on it, and my life has absolutely changed. Where I was putting, the center tape would be almost pointed at the ground, sometimes at tracks with that wheel. Now I'm barely moving the wheel with this VRS. There's no settings to it. It's real simple. You just literally turn it on and race. And that's for somebody as simple as me. I need something that you just turn on and use. I don't need sliders and options and things of that nature. I don't need to
Yeah.
Right.
test. Like I've actually said to Stoney 100 times, I mentioned how much I do love sim racing, but I don't love it enough to do what he does. I come in here a couple nights a week. I probably could be okay without the stress and racing online, to be honest with you. But to run the official races and stuff like that, man, if I
Oh,
had to do that, I would never race again just
yeah.
because. But again, it goes
Yeah.
back to it's the community, it's the people
It is.
that we have in the league. Doug Roth is in here, earlier messaging. Doug's been with us oh man, Doug's been racing with us for probably 10 or 12 years. So that's really where it all goes back to is our community and success
Yeah.
of our league. It's not anything I'm doing special. It's literally just a group of guys who have banded together and have
Yeah.
raced together for so long that we're embarrassed to tell anybody about it.
Well, what I like about your league, your truck league, and the leagues that I participate in, Truck in the Cup, is it helps me become better. Because I'm racing with
Yep.
guys that, like, I'm a 27, 2800 I rating, and I'm racing with guys 5, 6,000. So it helped. It's like Michael Jordan. People that played with Michael Jordan, they played better ball.
Right.
Yep.
It's the same thing with racing. I think you race with better people than you are. I've eventually got to get better. And I'm going to win one of these Sim 500 races before it's over with.
Yeah.
Maybe Charlotte, because I'm
There
going
you
to
go.
practice, 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 practice.
Nice.
If I could win this race for Judah and Jesus,
Oh
There
my
you
that
go.
God,
would
that would
be
be
that
awesome.
would be awesome.
That would.
And
So I
but
do have a question for you, Sony. So
okay,
tell everybody what you like. What are you what is your rig like? What do you have? Do you race VR? Do you have triples? Like, what do you race on every night?
well, I use Fanatec equipment. I've
Okay.
got the DD1, 8 Newton meter, and then I've got then I've got a good Fanatec wheel. I've got a GT Omega seat and
Oh,
stand, and
nice.
I use a 49-inch curved single monitor, and and of course I've got the gear shifts, and I've got V3 pedals, and I update my computer, and I just added butt kicker. I don't know if you've ever used
Oh
butt
man,
kicker.
yes, yes.
You guys have butt kicker, but what
I
it
I
don't.
oh my
oh
God,
man,
I got
uh,
shakers. I got shakers.
it makes such a difference. I think I'm improving, Joey, with it, because it helps me to feel what the car's doing, getting loose, and it helps me not to run it too hard.
Right,
And
right. Because
but
you can feel
anyway,
it. You can
you
feel it.
can.
That's like the closest thing you're gonna get without having motion, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Now,
So
go ahead. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
that's what I have, John. Yeah.
Okay. Now the next question I have for you for iRacing. Tell everybody, especially me, because I need to know now since I know you're a preacher. What's your car number?
I'm number 75.
All right, so now I know. Uh, oh man, 75. I think we ran into each other a couple times.
What number are you, John?
48. 48.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the
I
wild
think you
man.
did wreck me one time.
Oh, dang it.
And,
I
and
probably, I probably had, but just going back to what you're saying about 7500, I go into these short tracks. I do short track on Wednesday nights and Sunday nights. And coming from 7500 and going to those places, man, I'm racing like you said on Sunday night. The highest I rated is like 7,000. I got the
Oh yeah.
lowest, and I got 2,400. I'm the
Oh yeah.
lowest, and
I
I'm running
understand.
top five, top three. And it's because I'm racing with 7500. These guys are super fast. I mean, you
Yeah.
guys are fast, so
Well,
I
they
agree
really
with
help
you on
us.
that.
They help us improve, and I've been doing this about be 2 years this June.
Okay, that was my next question for you. Is
Yeah.
that how long
Yeah.
have you been doing iRacing?
Yep. I've been doing it for 2 years, and um, I enjoy it. It's a great hobby. It's a great recreation for me to, I deal with people all the time,
Mhm.
and just it's a getaway for me.
Right.
It's something I can think about and not think about something else. Not that I want to get
Yes.
away from it entirely, but I get a break from it.
Right.
And then when this deal came along with Judah, you guys wanting to do this, it's just wonderful. And I really thank you from the bottom of my heart. I do. Thank you
You,
so much.
Stoney talked about winning at Charlotte, and this is a crazy. And if you go to sim500.com, you can check out our stats. And Stoney would be the 182nd driver to win a race at Sim 500. Can
Dang.
you
Wow.
even think about that? 100. Right now we have 181 winners at
I'm
Sim
gonna be
500.
80. I'm gonna be 182. So y'all gonna have to get back.
Joey, how long have you had the league? I didn't. How long y'all been doing
Well,
it?
I have. Well, it's funny. There's a league out there right now called Real Sim Racing. That was actually where I started with iRacing, and it kind of got taken away from me. So when it did, I said, you know what? I built this league. It was all of my guys, and I said I'm gonna do it again. So I put Sim 500 back together. I think 2017.
Mhm.
Okay.
And man, when I opened the doors up, we had a full field. Matter of fact, Josh Berry was in our first race. Um, I'm not going to tell you what Josh did. He destroyed the field at going to the start finish line on the start of
Oh
the
no.
race.
Oh
Yep.
my
So
God.
that's why I'm not ever going to be a Josh Berry fan unless he apologizes.
Yeah.
Um, but
Hold a
He's
grudge.
getting
That's
ready to
how you
get
hold a grudge.
he's getting ready to get a cup ride too.
I
Yeah,
know
absolutely.
I'm still not going to let him come back. But he's got a permanent ban at Sim 500. But
Oh my God. Did he
no,
do it on purpose?
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Oh
there's
my.
there's a couple of them that come in and in the past they may not do it anymore, but yeah.
Is
So
one of
yeah,
them TJ?
that's no, he's actually been pretty good. TJ,
Okay.
yeah, he's ran with us a few times on Thursday, so yeah, he was great to have. Of course, we
Okay.
have Spotter, Josh Williams. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
Josh Williams who just won this weekend with Ryan Blaney. He spots for Ryan Blaney. He's off and in races with us mostly during the winter. I think he's got a pretty rough schedule during the season, but he did race with us on Monday, I think last year. So I
Yeah,
just
he's in
talked.
Xfinity now, isn't he?
Well,
Did he?
this is a different Josh Williams. There's the
Okay.
Josh Williams driver, and there's a Josh Williams spotter. So
Okay.
Josh Williams, the spotter, is actually Ryan Blaney's spotter. So I don't think Josh actually races. I think he maybe tried some
Yeah.
go kart stuff or whatever. But to talk about Sim 500, we mentioned 181 drivers that have started a race. Chad Coleman's got 1,121 starts. Talk about
Wow.
not having a
Mm.
life. I
Yeah,
love
I
you.
Oh
think
my
I've
God.
got nearly 2,000 starts in 2 years just on my stats.
And
Wow.
yeah, like
73 wins, 2,000 starts. That's in officials.
yeah,
Whew, just
right.
perfect. Yeah.
I don't even know. Like I think
Now you got me going pulling my stuff up. I'm gonna go ahead and
yeah,
have it.
I was gonna say I haven't ran. I don't even know how to pull stats on iRacing anymore. To be honest with you, series stats, teams and driver stats.
Yep, you gotta go to your account, right?
I
I
don't know how
think.
you do it either. I've
Yeah,
just been
me
here two
neither.
years.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
also, hey, Sony, I just to let you know, since you are a Christian and everything, my son's actually he's leaving for the army in July,
Oh
and
wow.
now yeah, and now recently he's getting talking about getting baptized before he's leaving, and he's been reading his Bible, so it's
Wow, that's good.
yeah, so he I guess you could say he found Jesus,
Well,
and
I hope so.
I'm like, well, we're gonna need him, buddy, if you go to the army.
Yeah.
We're gonna need him. And yeah, so looks like he's gonna be riding with my son for a little while,
So,
hopefully.
so Joey, I Discord messaged that guy you told me. I'd like to get a replica made of that paint scheme I got for Judah, and Wesley. Is that Wesley Donaldson? Is that the guy that
Yeah,
does it?
yeah, Wesley Donaldson, and I
Yeah.
forgot the name of his. And we need to get that out here on our podcast for anybody that may be looking to get a diecast created because he does some pretty impressive stuff. So I was
Yeah.
looking. Let's see, oval starts. I've got, and I've been doing this since 2008. And
Okay.
how long have you been doing this, Tony?
2 years.
And you've got how many starts?
I don't know. I thought it was 17, 1800. How many is
Okay,
it?
I've got 548 starts.
Woo!
So that just tells you where he's at. I've got 548 starts, 14 wins, 130 top five, 6 poles, average start 13th, 23,000 laps. So that's where I say that the love of this is
Where
that
did you
Mr.
guys go
Stoney
to see
has.
this?
Yeah, it's hidden. You have to go to account and then go to my what did I do?
You may have to be friends. I'm not sure.
Manage
Oh,
my account. No, you want to do that. Let's see.
my profile. View my profile. I have to see now since y'all talking. I've been 8 years on Iris.
View my profile. I think is what it is. Go under your
Yep,
account and then it's
I
view my
got it.
profile. Yep.
All right. So I've done a lot of dirt racing too. I have an oval racing, asphalt, 898 starts. That's just official.
Yeah.
I got 300 in dirt, 65 on road, and on dirt
How
road.
many do you have on road, Stoney? Do you know?
I don't do many road now. Whenever the officials there, I don't like road racing. That's
I
not
don't either.
NASCAR. That's
I've
not
got
NASCAR, man.
Yeah.
I've got 5 starts in road racing.
Yeah,
Oh my
I,
God.
No,
I
no,
don't
I'm
have
sorry.
many.
I'm sorry. That's dirt road. I didn't even know that's the rally. I have 47 road starts and 51 dirt oval starts. So
Yeah, I'm not good at
51.
dirt either. I just hadn't practiced and learned how to do it. So, hey, what's the name? Where's this podcast located, and where can point people to it and all that kind of thing?
well, Stoney, this is our second show. So John and I are just two fans that, again, I love to talk racing and love to vent. So we're doing this as a hobby. Like if I don't have enough going on,
Yeah, me neither.
or John, that we said, hey man, let's sit down every Tuesday night and talk about this. So right now we're on the Facebook page, but also John has us set up now where we have a YouTube, so I can
Okay.
get you a link to the YouTube tonight.
Yeah.
And we're just having fun with this. There's nobody pays us to do this.
Right.
It's just fun, right? It's
Yeah.
venting. I get to get on here and kick Bubba Wallace a few times and
Oh
hurt
my.
John's feelings. Nah, it's not that bad.
No,
Yeah.
no, you keep going.
Did
Don't
you see
just
where
stop
they?
now.
I went to Charlotte. I went over there Sunday after church. It didn't start until 6, and so I preached and everything. And then I'm only 45 minutes from the track.
Oh,
And
nice.
so I went over Sunday and sat there all day, and it rained, and had the buffet up in the box seat. We was up in the
Nice.
terrace box
Man,
seat, and
nice.
so then we went back yesterday. Man, we was right in turn 4. That was in one of those box seats and stuff. Man, that I'm just telling you, it's unbelievable. This new
That's
car,
awesome.
I've
That's
never seen
awesome.
this new car race in person. That
Does it
thing,
sound good?
oh
Yes.
my, it's unbelievably loud.
Yes. It's awesome.
I mean, it's loud with ear protection.
Oh,
and it was just so good, and that's probably the best race I've ever been to watch was yesterday.
That's
Yeah,
all. Yeah.
and I
Them
and
last year.
I've been about everywhere. I grew up. I've known Morgan Shepherd for 40 years,
Oh,
and I
nice.
would go with him and go
Did you
into.
roller skate with them?
No, I tell you what, I'll tell you a little story if you got time. I don't know if you have
Yeah,
time,
yeah. Go ahead.
but I attended the last race that they ran at North Wilkesboro in 1996.
Hmm.
And I had just become a Christian in '93, and Morgan's a Christian. He said, "Hey, why don't you come with me to Wilkesboro? And right after the drivers' meeting, we have church." I
Hmm.
said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." So I didn't know him better. I had a coat and tie on, and I went to the race and went to the drivers' meeting. That's back in the Gordon days. Rusty Wallace, Earnhardt, Waltrip, all of those guys. And so they stayed for church.
hmm.
Wow.
And I got up and I sang this song called "The Old Man Is Dead." It's the testimony of how the Lord saved me. And so I'm walking in to the drivers' meeting, and Kyle Petty comes up to me and he said, "Hey, son, you're overdressed for being here in the garage area." And I said, "Kyle, you don't know who I'm representing here today." I said, "You think your daddy's the king, but I'm here representing King Jesus."
Hey,
And I said, "If you'll come to church, I'll tell you about him." So I sang, and then Stevie Waltrip came up to me and she said, "Hey, I want to record in that song." And I said, "Well, here, just take the soundtrack." She said, "No, I want a recording of you singing it."
Oh, nice.
And I said, "Well," so Daryl Waltrip gave me a cell phone number, and I went back to the church that next day and made a recording of it. And I called Daryl, and he got an address. And so the other night when they were racing at Wilkesboro, I thought, I wonder if that's still DW's. I wonder if that's still his cell phone number. So I texted him and I said, "This is Stony Benfield. Do you remember me singing at the last race in Wilkesboro?" And he said, "I don't, but if you gave that to Stevie, I'm sure she still has it. Thanks for the text." And I said, "DW, thank you for all the financials, because DW paid. He's the one that got started to pay for a preacher to travel with NASCAR
Hmm.
every
Wow, I
week,
didn't know
every
that.
week." And I said, "Thank you for investing, because people really need to hear the gospel before they die." And he said, "Yes, they do. Amen." So 27 years later, man, brought back memories and got to reconnect with DW. But anyway, I've run around with Morgan my whole life. And
Hmm.
so he'd always take me with him inside. And we'd have, he's not doing good, man. He's got Parkinson's now. He can't get off the couch.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
That's the
that
Yeah.
sucks
same
to hear.
thing Sterling Marlin's dealing with, isn't it?
You know
Yeah,
what? I saw a photo of Sterling Martin the other day. He looks bad. It must
Yeah,
be. Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
terrible. It's terrible. I mean,
Yeah.
I get it's part of life, and these guys, I mean, what they'll never get paid back for what they did for, like, King Jesus was your savior, but
Yeah.
for me in my life, it was King Earnhardt that really directed me in a path that really, when my life took some rough patches and I lost a family member to suicide. So,
Oh my.
it was terrible. I was a kid. It was my grandfather. We were going to start racing together. We were following the Bobby Davy Allison plan.
Yeah.
We had all that
Yeah.
worked out. And then, it was kind of like you were left alone to do it all by yourself. And there was a lot of, anger, and
Yeah.
but there was, being lost. But as a kid, I can remember back to getting it, which we don't have yellow pages anymore.
No.
But as a kid, I would literally get the yellow pages out and I would circle businesses and I would call them and tell them, "Hey, I want to be a race car driver. Would you help me?" I didn't have a race car or nothing.
No.
Made some stupid moves. Dad tried to help me out a little bit as we went, and got a loan out to buy a race car. And my dumb, I go out and buy a race car that don't even have a motor. I did, and it was a mini modified, made out. It was a steel bodied car too, and it sat in our garage. It sat outside of our house for a year. And my poor dad paid for that race car, and I wouldn't listen. I had to do it my way, and I knew more than anybody. Just a kid. And but at the end of the day, John, I was telling you earlier, when we made it up to run, the hobby cars at BIR, Stony, we'd have to take the battery out of my truck to put in the race car, and that's no joke.
Really?
And
Wow.
so we've done all that, and then we did some. How I got wound up on dirt was just a freak accident, just meeting the right person. We went out and started winning races immediately on dirt. I was scared to death. The only reason why I got to lead my first race was because I couldn't see. So
Hmm.
I
Wow.
made it, and then I came out and I was in the lead. I was like, "Oh, okay," and we won. We won the very first
Hold,
time out. So
hold
yeah,
on. I just putting two together here. So you ran dirt in real life?
yeah. I had all my success on dirt. I mean, I ran
So,
street stocks. Well, actually, they're called Thunder and Lightning back in the day. So it was a tube chassis with a Camaro snout, and then you put the biggest, baddest motor you can in it, and you go race.
all
So
right,
we
Joey,
we
I'm
did
getting a
that for
little
the longest.
confused here. You ran dirt.
Yeah,
Why
love
not
dirt.
on iRacing? Why not
It,
on iRacing?
it's not. I mean, look, for a race car driver, what Stoney mentioned earlier with the butt kicker, I'd love to try that and just see how that feels. But to drive a race car, you drive it with your rear end, right? So in
Hmm.
sim racing, your rear end is replaced by your eyeballs because you
Mhm.
can't feel anything. Your
Right.
rear end is your brain. It tells your body everything. It tells you when to mash gas, when to mash the brake, when to get into the gas, when to get out. I mean, it tells you everything. So when you take that out, there's it's like I've said to a lot of people, it's like being a paraplegic trying to drive a race car
Hmm.
because there's just no feeling. So that's
Uh,
been the hardest thing I've ever had to do is to, like, when you roll in the corner in a super late model dirt car and you roll that thing over and you're back in the gas, your eyeball, you left one eyeball back in turn two. I mean, I've gotten in race cars sometimes that I didn't even know I'm running on methanol, and you mash the gas and your head falls back in the seat. I mean, but yeah, it's just different. I mean, in dirt, again, we go back to sim racing, just even on the asphalt side, how just little bit you can miss it by a little bit and be seconds off of the race pace or fall seconds back from the lead group. Well, dirt and John, what you do on Thursdays in the street stock series, that's 10 times harder in my opinion because it is such a momentum thing.
right.
You've
Right.
got to know how to keep those cars rolling, and it's something I think you've got to do a lot of, and dirt's just not. Asphalt's easier.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. I do.
But I mean, the dirt career was fun. I mean, it's where it got me. I mean, I hated cleaning the car every Sunday. I had to drive an hour down the road because I drove for a guy. I didn't. Most of my
Right.
career, I drove for people. We couldn't afford to, buy race cars, and then if we
Oh,
we could,
you was a helmet toter.
I went and drove
Oh,
cars for everybody that
nice.
would let me drive because at the end of the day, it was about. I was taught by a guy early on. He said, if you're going to do this, you've got to put cars on the trailer, and that's when the race is over, it's got to roll on the trail like you rolled it off. So
Right.
we were able to do that, and we were able to do it good and consistent. And then it got so bad, it's like you had a partner come up to you and you're like, well, why didn't you get fourth? Why didn't you get third? And you're like, didn't you want me to put this thing back on the trailer? I mean, what do you want me to do? So, I
Yeah.
mean, it was fun. And, I guess at the end of the day with racing the way it is you obviously see the path you want to go, you know where you want to be, and look, short track racing, local racing's great. If that's that's where you want to be, then do it. But I think at the end of the day, where for me it was, I want to go and run Talladega and some of these tracks, Daytona.
Hmm.
That's where my heart was at. So we did it. We didn't do it very fast, but we were able to accomplish that. So going from pulling a battery out of a truck to put in a car with a steel, body or a steel piece of steel down the driver's side is my roll cage. I think we did pretty good.
That's awesome. That's pretty awesome. Well,
Yes,
so
sir.
Monday night, uh, let me put my picture back up because I love my picture.
Oh man, we're gonna have a great time, aren't we?
Yeah, I can't wait. Joey got his new paint job. I hooked him up with the new paint
Yeah, I
job.
saw that.
He's got him on the hood.
I'm
Now,
ready to
John,
Um,
extend. I'm ready to
John, do
extend the
you also
laps.
do paint designs also?
yes, yep.
Okay.
But I'm nowhere near good as that guy that painted your car. That guy is awesome. I do it just for stress reliever. All
Uh
my
huh.
paint jobs are pretty much just plain. I'll be honest. That's what Joey has right there is probably one of my most fanciest ones I've done.
It looks
And
great, man.
yeah, thank you. Thank you. I wanted to put him on the hood for you, and hopefully somebody with Judah on the card will win on Saturday. I mean Monday, which I will. I will win. I'm just saying.
Yeah, John, it's me or you. It's me or you.
Yeah,
Monday.
I'm with that. But now I know who you are. I'm staying away.
Now, Joe, you've won in your league, I'm sure, right?
I have, but not very much. I think I've won maybe 9 races.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, it's tough to
It's
win in your league now. I'm just telling you, man. It's
Oh my
yeah.
tough.
God.
I
Every
mean,
Daytona and Talladega race, I'm like, tonight's the night, baby. I'm gonna pull it off.
well,
And nope.
that was my bread and butter back in the day, and I say back in the day, but that's where I won my races. But now even the super speedway racing is just
Yes, it's hard.
extremely difficult. Like
It
I
is.
don't I don't Talladega was up there a pretty good bit, led some laps, and then it's just
It,
it's
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like they you gotta. I try to be friends with everybody, and maybe that's the thing, Stoney. Maybe we get you up there, and we've talked about this before. But Monday night, I'd love instead of me talking, do a quick drivers meeting. But then if you would lead us in prayer Monday
I'll be
night,
Yes, I was
glad
just about
to.
to say that.
I'd talk to Stoney about doing that all season long. It's just so chaotic
Oh, that would be so
leading up
awesome.
to the race. I know we haven't got on the same page, but we definitely need to plan that out.
Like
Uh,
I have an idea. Well, on Monday when we do our warm up, that's when Sonny will come in and he'll do his prayer. Nobody goes on the track. Everybody stays off. I mean, what is 1 minute going to do? You're not going to get a lap
Well,
in.
even if it rolls into the grid, that's fine. I
Yeah,
keep it.
that's fine
Yeah,
too.
that's how
But
we'll
it
do it.
gives you that 1 minute to, because once it rolls into the grid, you got what another minute, and then you could be on the track. So I would say when that warm up starts, you should introduce him and let him do his thing. That would be awesome.
Yep, we'll make that happen for sure. Stoney, I just shared our YouTube. Like I said, I think there's one or two people that liked it so far. So
Yeah.
John and I, we're gonna hammer this thing out. We're gonna have fun with this. You're
Yeah.
welcome to come back anytime. Hey, do you have a take on the whole Chase Elliott deal with Denny Hamlin?
Well, I couldn't see it. I had to watch a replay. I really thought that Hamlin, um, I thought Hamlin got into him from what I watched in the replay. But man, they suspended Elliott,
Yeah.
and
It's because
goodness,
Elliott took that left hand turn.
and they let Bubba Wallace act like an idiot and don't do anything to him.
You're a
There we
preacher.
go. He's a
He's a preacher.
preacher.
He's a preacher. He's a preacher, John.
And here Bubba Wallace gives somebody the middle finger. And
Well, that's two races in a row. That's
Yeah.
yeah,
two races. I'm using two fingers.
yeah.
Bubba needs to learn two fingers.
And
Peace,
Yeah.
Bubba. Peace.
Yeah.
Almirola Sunday wasn't going to take his mouth and pushed him back. I guess you saw that video.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't
Yeah,
Yep.
even think John showed that video. He showed everything but that video tonight.
Correct.
So
Correct.
yeah.
I
I
had
just
it up ready to go.
I just say, ma'am, whatever the rules are. I mean, if Elliott was wrong, he needs to be suspended. If just like in your league, Joey, whoever it is, regardless if it's me, you, whoever it is, if we make a mistake, we get an EOL penalty
Doug
and we go to
Ross.
the back. You know?
Doug Ross to be
well, I can
penalized.
so with that I can definitely understand NASCAR's predicament. Nobody ever wants to
Yeah,
suspend a driver. That's
yeah.
the opposite of what you want to do. But it's difficult, and then what you have to make sure is you're consistent with it. So
That's right.
at the end of the day, we're not risking another driver's life. And as we mentioned earlier,
That's
that
right.
particular part of the racetrack, there that has taken the lives of drivers.
Hmm.
Blaze Alexander, matter of fact, in the ARCA race with
Yep.
Kerry Earnhardt,
Yep.
hit right there, and that killed Blaze right there in that corner. So, Davey was hurt bad right there in that area.
Yep.
So
Hey, who
that's
did
just
that? Who did that to Davey?
Davey came off Kyle Petty, off the nose of
Yeah.
Kyle Petty. Yeah.
Two weeks before Blaze got killed, I was on an airplane with him and talked to him.
Oh wow.
Uh,
Wow.
I witnessed the Blaze
Mm.
Alexander 2 weeks before Charlotte
Wow.
because they all come on the plane, his whole race team, and everybody's dressed in black jeans, black t-shirt, black hat. You know, there's a race team by what way they were
Right.
dressed.
Right.
And I started talking. Dale Earnhardt had just been killed, I think, right before that, if I remember correctly.
Mm.
And but anyway, yeah, I remember when Blaze and I called Blaze's mom and dad and tried to really encourage them after Blaze got killed there at Charlotte. Yeah, yeah,
Just a
Man.
bad area, man, for sure. It's a bad area in
Yeah.
the racetrack that so that's the thing with us and the video game stuff. Thankfully we can't hurt one another, but I still at the biggest I call it one big dysfunctional family because that's what we really are.
yeah.
Um and the thing is we're all not professionals.
No,
And we have to understand that we're
Hey,
going to
hey,
make
speak for
mistakes.
yourself. Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
John is.
I tell people that all the time. I've got a Wikipedia page. That makes me a professional. And that doesn't. And the Wikipedia has the wrong birth date, so I don't know what that means. I've emailed them and said that's not even the right birth date. Don't, I'd rather not even have one than have the
Yeah,
wrong birth date. But it's
yeah,
funny. But
yeah,
Stoney, I appreciate it. I know it's getting late over there.
Yeah.
You guys on the East Coast,
yeah, man.
it's almost
Yeah.
Yeah,
11 o'clock.
man. Let's get late over here. We can talk for days, man.
We
Well,
So
can,
much
we
fun.
can.
I need to go and run about 50 laps at Charlotte before I go to bed and in that
Oh,
new car.
nice.
And I wonder is the high. I don't know if the high line is going to come in or not, man. In our race, it may just be all low. What do you think? You got any ideas, Joey?
I would have to refer to my teammate Tyler
Yeah.
Dalton when we get going. I mean, we got so many
Yeah,
uh, people that Tyler spends so much time practicing, some other guys do, and I
yeah.
piggyback off of it. I come in, I get the Cliff Note version, and I go.
Okay.
I'll be honest. It's my life has changed when it comes to this. I mentioned the VRS, the Midge motor that I'm running now. It is night and day from anything I've ever done. And it's easy now. It's I'm able to
Really?
actually drive a race car like a race car is supposed to be driven, and um, y'all's wheels may be doing what it's supposed to, but like I said, when you're turning the wheel and your center tape's pointed at the ground, then all you're doing is burning tires up and you're pushing up the racetrack. There's no way to go fast. So I had guys come to my house. Hell, Bob Gillenwater drove 4 hours to come down here and try
Yeah.
to get that AccuForce working, and we just could not do it. So I was having a conversation with a couple of guys, and I eventually said, you know what? That night I sold it
Yeah.
within like 8 hours, and then I bought this, and I was scared I made a mistake, but this is the best thing that God has blessed me with.
Nice,
Is
Good.
nice,
this?
nice way to
I
bring
mean,
God in that one.
yeah, because I mean, look, hey, look, it
Hey,
is
can I
as
say one thing?
as much. Go ahead.
Can we uh start shortening this up? I really gotta pee.
Yes.
I got a
Anyways,
I
question about
really
that
gotta
before I
pee.
go. Is it a direct drive? It's
it
direct drive.
is. It is. It
Is it
is.
in
It's
this kind of same price range as Fanatec and those other things?
well, the motor itself is about 900, and then if you buy their wheel and stuff, you got to add another 900 to it. So I didn't
That's
do
why
that.
you. That's why 3 million
So
won't
It's
go
a little
far
bit
for
more
you.
expensive then.
it,
Yeah.
it yeah. So what I did was I've got the motor. I was able to put the AccuForce Quick
Adapter.
Connect on it.
Uh-huh.
And matter of fact, didn't have to change anything on my steering wheel. I've got the MPI, a 14-inch or 15-inch cup wheel, and just pop. I was good to go. So I basically have $100 in this deal after I sold my Fanatec
Okay.
or
Nice.
AccuForce.
AccuForce to this one. So it was the right time. So, anyways, John, I know you got to go to the restroom. It was
Man, I'm
fun. I
sweating.
know we kind of bounced off a lot of stuff tonight, but anytime Stony Tuesday
Yeah,
nights we
man.
do this, we'd love to have you in the chat. Love to have you back on.
Okay,
We
buddy.
look forward to Monday night. John, again, thanks for having me on your show, dude. I appreciate it.
I
Yeah.
appreciate both y'all coming on, and so we're gonna start probably interviewing the winner for Monday night. So let's get you
Well,
in Victory Lane so you can come
well,
back and talk with
I'm
us.
going to practice. This is Tuesday. I've got 4 or 5 days here. I'm going to practice now. I'm
All
telling you,
right.
I am.
Hey, if I get some time, I'll put up practice, and we can all just jump in and do some practice.
Yep. If you'll run 50 laps a day from now to then, you'll be ready. You'll be
Hey,
ready
I'm gonna
Monday.
do 51.
And Ricky Williams has been out there and he asked, he said something about, is there a, can you put a sim racer or a sim setup together for a 1 foot operation? You can absolutely do that because I
Yep.
drive down the road with 1 foot,
Yep.
so you can race 1 foot as well. So,
Yeah.
anyways, other than that, John, I'm out of here. Ricky, thanks for being on, man, and hanging out. Man, we need to have Ricky on one night to talk some short track racing with us. He's
Yes,
right down there in
absolutely.
Pensacola, so that's
Good
we
deal.
call him short track Ricky.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that would be awesome to have. But I appreciate both y'all coming on. Remember, we're never quit. We're gonna race for Judah on Monday night.
Yep.
It's our longest race, and take a pee before we start racing
That's
because we're
right,
gonna
buddy.
have to go pee.
Especially if
And
you're over
remember,
50.
we gotta get him to say the prayer in the beginning, Joey.
Y'all just let me know. I'll do
Short.
whatever you want me to do. Whatever,
That would be
Absolutely.
whatever works
awesome.
out.
All
Okay.
right. Have a
See
great
you
night,
guys.
guys. Great
All right, I
week.
Thanks, man.
appreciate both
Take
y'all.
care.
All right. Later,
Bring
Joey.
us
Have a good
bring
one.
us home, John. I talked to you soon, buddy. Thank
All
you,
right,
man.
buddy.